welcome back to our Wednesday night Insane Friends show. We're here every Wednesday night at 7:30. Sometimes we have another business owner guest, and we talk about their business. Show. We're here every Wednesday night. I'm sorry about the audio. Let me fix that. All righty. Got that fixed. Got the audio fixed. Sorry about that. Camaro time. Welcome to the chat. Tonight, our theme is going to be eBay. We're going to be talking about how much money you can possibly make on eBay. Of course, here on Sane Enterprises, we do sales, management.
And I'm buying something on eBay right now.
She actually is on the other device over there making an eBay purchase. And we're going to have 3 trivia questions. It's all going to be about eBay and eBay sales. And then we're going to move on to some other questions for you, the audience, about eBay, because we'll be in the thick of the discussion. But before we get to that, I do want to shout out all our hashtag Insane Friends who are also participating in our marathon of lives every week and keeping this calendar going with hashtag Insane Friends lives every night, almost every night. There are channels there are 10 different channels in 8 different cities and 2 different countries participating. Sunday, it starts on Sane Auto, our other channel, Sane Auto, at 7:30. And then it's Gregory Salvatore after that at 9 p.m. Monday night, ATRA Adventures carries the awesome torch, 9 p.m. And then Bubsification on Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Wednesday night, we're right here on Sane Enterprises, and that's Sane with a space Enterprises. Usually at 7:30. Sometimes we're a little bit late because we do have to take care of not just the eBay and stuff, but queen of the insurance scene here.
Hi.
Has insurance sales to do during the day as well. And that'll be one of our trivia questions today too. How much money do you think Carol made selling insurance today? I'll give you a hint. It's very close to what I made on the eBay store. Thursday night is Dorito and Lucha Cabra at around 9 o'clock, 9:30. I'm going to have to get with them exactly what time it is.
125. Sister.
This is all Eastern Standard Time. I know it's 6 o'clock on Pacific time that they go on. Easy 2 tips and tricks, etc. etc. is also in California, and they go on right after Dorito and Lucha Cabra. On Saturday, it is Chopper's Rule 1 at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, followed by Fab Automotive Detailing at 9 p.m. Camaro Time says he needs to start selling on eBay again. I didn't know you had quit selling on eBay. I knew you got that new job and everything, and we're all excited about that.
Hi.
And
but
I didn't know you quit selling on eBay.
I don't sell on eBay. I buy on eBay.
But I sell quite a bit on eBay. And our first trivia question tonight is about that selling on eBay. And that is, can you guess how much I sold today?
Me in there.
There it is.
Yeah, I see that. I clicked on that. It didn't let me in. It just blinked.
Okay. Well, how much in monetary? I can tell you it was 3 items. How much did I sell on eBay today? And it's kind of there's 3 items.
That many dollars.
Okay, Camaro Time says he's not done the eBay sales since he started the new job. That's pretty close. 127. That's pretty close. It's a little bit higher. Well, I had a similar situation as with the moving all the stuff from the other building that I haven't listed very many new things on the eBay since I've been moving all that inventory.
I had to use this.
Getting warmer. And so
because my credit card didn't come in yet.
Excuse me. I'm still selling on eBay, but my sales are kind of flat. They haven't increased. Even warmer.
Well, you're guessing. This is some of our merch. See that? That's awesome. Yeah.
But the
and this, see? Awesome hat.
From our other channel. So if you're watching this in replay, that's our merch from our other channel.
See? Very good quality
Which
hat.
is also another income stream that we have. That other channel is quite a bit bigger than this channel. And this, oh, you missed it. Too high. Too much monies. I wish I was doing over $300 a day. And maybe I will.
I'll give you
we'll get to that, but,
in the car.
But I haven't been increasing the amount of inventory that I have listed. I've just been barely keeping up with this stuff that's going out because I've been doing all that moving and packing and loading the big trailers with inventory. But I've got so much inventory on that big trailer that's going to come down to this other building, and this other building's a lot closer than me. Still lower. I think I'm going to be able to list things a lot faster because I'll have that huge inventory right here close by, and so I can list things a lot quicker. I also brought several more work tables and things like that down here to the other building, so I've got to do some setting up and rearranging and organizing. But once I get that done, I should be able to go to the other building.
What I made in insurance today, and I didn't have to list anything.
Yeah. Yeah, it's right now at this point. This is one of the reasons why I want to get the eBay income up so desperately, is because
I didn't make any commissions either.
I am making a full-time income off of what I'm doing on eBay, but it's still not the kind of money she's making on insurance. And I want that eBay to be making more than, quite a bit more than what she's making on it. I don't want it to be making a full-time wage. I want it to be making a business level amount of money. In order to do that, I'm going to have to dive in there and put the time into it that I would. And that is from inventory. That's from moving inventory around. Yep, burnt, bruised, or bleeding, or you're not really doing anything. Oh, you should see the lower part of my legs from stomping around and all that.
They're scratchy,
that inventory.
And they're they don't
loading
look like
the big trailers. Yeah. So if you're watching the replay and you haven't seen too much of our other videos and what we're talking about, the inventory that I'm talking about, that I got my legs all scratched up and did this and all that stuff, is in a big tractor trailer right now. And it's all over the new building, and it's all over other buildings that I built. And there's a bus out there full of it, and there's a big, huge Super Duty van full of kits and other stuff. Camaro Time says, I lifted a truck tire wrong yesterday. Could not even make it out of the bed this morning. Oh, man, I know how that feels. I know exactly how that feels because I've got 2 ruptured discs. Man, is the way I look at it is, as long as I don't pop another hernia, whew, I can put up with the pain and the back pain and stuff like that.
I don't know what to do.
Hopefully you just pulled a muscle or something and didn't hurt a disc. But the daily amount is actually the daily amount is actually $220. So we made $220 off the eBay store today. Now I have some high ticket items on there, so there's been days when I made like $1,400 in one day. But there's also been days where I only made like 30, 40 bucks in a day. So $200 is a pretty good average for the amount of inventory I have listed on the eBay store right now. Ooh, that sounds really painful. Slip disc. It has a disc that'll pop out every now and then. He can reach around and push it back in.
Ouch.
Camaro Time likes the hat. Well, we'll send you one, Camaro Time, because you're awesome like that. Send Camaro Time a hat.
Yeah, not this one.
That's part of her baddie collection. Every once in a while, you gotta break some of the rules, the success rules, but we don't break them often.
And when we do, it's always on stuff that's on sale.
Mm-hmm. And the rules I'm referring to are the rules I have for how you invest your time or invest your money, and that is
this improves my living conditions.
Anytime you want to invest your time or your money, you got to ask yourself, does it make money? Does it save money? Or does it improve my living conditions or those of my loved ones, your family?
This improves my living conditions. Now the sun doesn't get in my eyes.
Kind of a stretch.
The sun doesn't get in my eyes and I live better.
Are you Batwoman?
No, with this hat on, I have to be Harley Quinn.
So, that's the way I feel about some of my eBay stuff, because he says if I had time or money, I would invest. My wife has me planned out for decades. She's got plans for me too, and so does my eBay store, because I figured it up with the inventory. I'm not going to give it away because it's one of the questions tonight. I'm not going to give it away this early.
But half of what he makes is mine. All of what I make is mine. So he gets the half that's left over.
Oh, you got that fence finished. I noticed you had that Wagner out.
Awesome.
I knew great things were going to happen once you pulled out the Wagner. That'll throw a lot of paint really quick. So the next question is, how much money worth of inventory do we have to have listed on the eBay in order to sell that much per day? In order to be selling around $200 a day, how much money do we have listed on the eBay to continue to sell that much on average? Ah, so your wifey bought that for you. That's great. I've got an older Wagner that I was using for a while. And, oh, I wish I could do that much with $1,400 worth of inventory on there. And if you have a different kind of inventory than what I do, you might be able to do a couple $100 a day with $1,400 worth of inventory, or 14,000, depending on what kind of inventory you got and what kind of inventory you're doing. And you would know a lot about that, Camaro Time, because you were selling on eBay before. And I don't know what products you were selling, but I'm sure it's different from what I sell, and definitely brings different results. But the stuff I sell is kind of slow moving inventory. So you got to really have quite a bit of it listed on there in order to get a decent amount of income coming in.
How much insurance did I have to sell to make what I made today?
She made $200 on insurance today, and she doesn't have to list any inventory.
And I didn't sell one policy, and I made $200. No commissions, just $200.
Yeah.
For 2 days.
So when she does make sales, she makes more than $200 a day, because she gets commission on top.
Hi.
Of that.
I got a dog who stuck her nose on my leg and blowed.
Oh, okay. Camaro Time says he's hit the thrift stores and toy stores. He once sold a 99-cent record for $1,300 to a guy in Russia, and sold 99-cent Hot Wheel for $600. Okay, so I know from watching your videos that you know quite a bit about the records and the music, and you do phenomenal, not only on your editing, but the kind of music that you put on your editing too. That's one of my clues that you know a lot about music. And I've seen your record collection too, so you know a lot about the records and stuff.
We forgot to deposit my check.
But we didn't have time to deposit your check because it was too late. The bank was closed. Oh, well, we could have done that electronic thing. So, yeah, I can see how that would be a much more fruitful type of inventory to have than what I've got. Plus, it'd take less space to keep it, and it's cleaner. And then the Hot Wheels too, that would also take up a lot less space and be a lot cleaner than the kind of inventory that I'm handling. And some of those things but both of those require the kind of knowledge that I have about my inventory. And you have that, but I don't have that. So one of the lessons there is people should, yeah, those sales are rare. Yeah, and I would encourage you to get some more of that stuff and build up your inventory on that kind of stuff, because it takes up a lot less space than the type of inventory I'm doing. And it's a lot cleaner than the type of inventory I'm doing. And you know a lot about that. And I would encourage anybody else that's watching this on replay to find something that they know a lot about and go look for that stuff at yard sales and thrift stores or wherever that type of stuff is sold, and stick to something that they really know. And Camaro Time really knows a lot about that stuff. So if you're one of the viewers and you're watching this on replay and you know a lot about shoes, I know a lot of people that's made a lot of money on eBay and other platforms with shoes. If you know a lot about artistic things and stuff, you might want to put that stuff on a platform like Etsy or something. Okay, Camaro Time says he always looks for shirts like Harley or basketball or football shorts and jerseys. Just stuff I know about. Yeah, somebody might be viewing this and they know a lot about t-shirts.
You okay?
I'm about lost that now. Every time I touch something, it wants to come off.
Well, put a Band-Aid on it.
Yeah, I do need to put a Band-Aid on it before it comes. The worst part about this one is that it still has all this live stuff right here. And so if it just mashed it all the way across and the whole thing just kind of fall off, that's actually more comfortable than having like that 20-30% of live stuff still there. Anyhow, that's another thing too that's a benefit of doing like jerseys, t-shirts, shoes, records, Hot Wheels and stuff. You're not going to have to worry about stuff like this like I do with my inventory. And
selling insurance, you don't have to worry about putting it in a box.
Name brand tools from garage sales are great as well. Yeah, that's a great point. And I could do that once I do something with the inventory that I have. This brings me to the next question. I'm going to give away right now, in order to do $200 a day with the type of inventory that I have listed $45,000 worth of inventory in order to do 200 and something dollars a day. And that's a lot of inventory. Yeah, Carol selling insurance, and insurance is a non-physical product. And so you can have an infinite amount of inventory of a non-physical product and not take up any space at all.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why she
all
likes.
All the insurance is up here and in the computer.
Right. And she doesn't even get paper cuts anymore because they do almost all of their sales and everything else on the phone and the computer, and save everything and file everything and organize everything in the computer. So there's not even any filing cabinets in her office.
I don't type, I peck with those two fingers.
I have more filing cabinets for my parts sales and stuff than they do at the insurance office. A whole crew of them at the insurance office. I go through more paper and more printing and printing shipping labels than they do too. So if you've got a knack for anything that's a non-physical product, there's an asset to doing that too.
It cost a lot of money to get me to insure you too.
Now my question is, if I've got $45,000 worth of inventory, and
you got more than that.
That's listed, and that brings $220 a day, or around $200 average per day. Then how much more would I have to list if I wanted to do, say, $10,000 a month?
That's your math.
Yeah, I use that eBay shipping and print the labels right off of the eBay. And when I print the labels right off of eBay, it automatically marks the item as shipped and lets the buyer know that I have shipped the item. And then I don't have to go back and let eBay know that I have shipped the item. The other thing too is this is necessary, absolutely necessary. I'm glad you mentioned shipping, Camaro Time. This is one of the tips I wanted to give everybody that's doing eBay. It's a little known secret. It may not be secret to everybody, but it was to me before I found out. You have to be printing every one of your shipping invoices off of that eBay shipping thing window in order to keep your top seller status. And I've got super seller status and top seller status, and I've still got 100% positive feedback and all that at the same time. So I want to keep that. And I have discounts because of that. and it saves me money on shipping. Everything above 1 pound, it saves me money on shipping. But another little known secret on eBay is if you're using that and you're shipping things first class that are under 1 pound, say under half a pound, around 10 ounces or less, you actually end up paying more, even though it shows you're getting a discount. No, because anything under 10 ounces that I would be shipping first class, I'm actually going to open a second eBay store because of this, because I have to use that in order to, and the lowest price you can possibly get, even if it's only 2 ounces, you're still going to pay like $3 for the shipping of that item. No matter what kind of envelope you put it in, no matter what. And I do have some gaskets and seals and stuff like that that are around 2 or 3 ounces. And so I put these in an envelope, and then I got to pay like $3 to ship them. Well, the exact same envelope, even if it's a padded envelope, I could not use the eBay shipping and just slap a stamp on it or 2 stamps on it and be spending less than $1 to ship the same thing. So I'm going to open a second eBay store that I don't give a crap whether I have top seller status or not on that second eBay store. And I'm going to put all my lightweight small things that I can put in envelopes, like gaskets and seals and stuff like that, on that other eBay, and just put stamps on them and ship them out that way, so that I'm not losing my top seller status for something silly like I didn't use the eBay label printer for my shipping. And of course, one of the reasons why it's obvious why eBay wants you to do this, is ship every single thing through there, is because they get credit for it, whether you shipping it FedEx or USPS. They're getting credit for this huge volume of shipping because you're paying eBay and then eBay's paying them. And so it's like eBay, the corporation, is shipping all these things. And so they get all this weight of being a frequent shipper, and they can demand discounts from the shippers and pass some of that discount on to you if you've got top seller status, and none of it on to you if you don't have top seller status, while you're trying to get top seller status, which I have. I'm just trying to hang on to it. But everything above that, everything above that 1 pound, I actually save money shipping off of eBay. So I'm going to leave all of the heavier than 1 pound stuff on the eBay. Oh, did you do the calculations there? $230,000 worth of inventory in order for me to reach 10,000 in sales. Okay, that's good info to have, because I have the next question here was, third question was, how much money in inventory am I bringing from the other building? And a lot of people that have been watching our other videos and our other lives will probably know this, because I've mentioned it several times. It's $1 million worth of inventory. And that's why it took me over a month and a half. Yes, Camaro Time knew. He knew it's $1 million worth of inventory. It took me over a month and a half with, hired help to take all that stuff off the shelves and load it into tractor trailer, and loads of big van with another trailer behind it, moving stuff to the other building and loading stuff into the big tractor trailer. And we stacked stuff on the floor, then put pallets, then stack stuff on the pallets, then put more pallets on top of that stack, and then stack no other pallets. And so this thing is layers and layers, and then rows and rows, and there's no room to even walk between the inventory in there. That trailer is packed, and it's $1 million worth of inventory. So if it takes $230,000 worth of inventory to get this eBay store with this slow moving inventory up to $10,000 a month in sales, then that seems doable to me, because that means I only have to list 25% of the inventory that I have. Well, since I already got $45,000 worth listed, you know, maybe not even that much. But yeah, 230,000, that'd be 23% of the inventory that I have. And of course, I would start with some of the stuff that's piled up here and there before I even start on the trailer, to try to clean up this stuff and put it on the shelves. Actually, I'm going to buy another trailer that's a 53-foot dry van trailer, and I'm going to build shelves in it, and then start re-inspecting the inventory. This inventory has been inspected like 3-4 times, but you can't inspect your inventory too many times. Just inspect it every time you touch it, and that way if something gets damaged, you know, during moving, or if rats get hold of it or whatever, bird poops on it, whatever, then you catch that before you sell it to a customer, and you don't have any negative feedback on your eBay. And you don't have to cancel any orders because you went to go get a piece of inventory and found out that it was damaged or dirty in some way, and then you have to contact the seller and cancel an order, because that'll reflect badly on your eBay too, and help and can keep you from having top seller status or keeping your top seller status. Yeah, you're right, Camaro Time. All it takes is one person having a bad day to mess up that 100% feedback. Ask me how I know. Oh, yeah. Did somebody mess up your 100% feedback? I sure am glad that I've been able to keep mine at 100%, and I'm actually kind of surprised that I have. You know, other businesses that I've run, it's been the only thing I've been able to keep. Well, the property that I sold in Chattanooga for quite a while there, I had my own business in there, and then I was leasing it out, and it's still a 5-star Google rating if you look up the address on Google. But in other areas, I wasn't able to keep it 100% or 5-star unless it was BBB and I was paying the protection money. And that's the way it is with BBB. If you don't pay your protection money, your thug money, then your rating's gonna go down quickly and fast. And point taken, there's a Walmart nearby where my business was at, and I could see several smaller businesses on there, and they would have like 3-4 complaints. Every one of them would have like 3-4 complaints. And if it said not a member of BBB, and if membership, you got to pay membership dues, you got to pay every 6 months, and you're paying a payoff to BBB to keep your rating up. And that then the local Walmart would have 700 and something, always more than 700 complaints, but they had an A, and it said member of BBBs, because they're paying to be a member. And here's how they do that without getting in trouble for it. If you don't pay membership dues and somebody calls and wants to complain, then they throw that verification process out the window. They don't ever even call the business to verify whether the complaint's a valid complaint or not. They just assume that it's valid, and lodge it on there and bring the rating down. But if you pay their membership dues, then they'll call your business. They'll ask you, what happened, ask you if you want to try to work something out with the customer. They go through this whole process and give you a chance to work something out with the customer. And if you can work something out, it never lowers your rating. Even in most cases, it's not even lodged as a complaint. It's resolved. But they don't bother to do any of that if you don't pay them every 6 months for a membership. So keep that in mind if you're thinking that those ratings for places like BBB are really helping you find a better business. I like to think of it as the torch is their symbol of, if you don't pay them, their extortion symbol. If you don't pay them, they're going to torch your reputation, or at least they're going to allow anybody and everybody to torch your reputation, and they're going to turn a blind eye while everybody does it. "100% for 14 years, and one person said something smelled. They bought 2 things, so I asked if the other did. They said no. Both things were shipped in the same box." eBay said smell was subjective, so there's nothing they could do. Well, there has been a couple of items that I found were questionable, and the couple of bigger items, eBay did side with me. I took pictures and stuff of where I told them they send it back, and if they send it back and everything, I'd give them their money back. Then when it got back and I seen that they had damaged it and everything, I took pictures and contacted eBay and stuff, and they did side with me in those cases. Now, other cases, they had claimed it was damaged, and they sent pictures of the so-called damaged things, and it was pretty obvious that they were just not wanting to pay. And there was a couple other times it was really fishy, but lucky for me, on those items, it was less than $40. And on the less than $40 items, and I guess this might be because I'm so used to selling.
How you doing?
Selling things that are $2,500 and up from my other businesses, that my eBay store is, seems like really small transactions. Now, some people that sell on eBay, $40 is a lot of money, and they sell a lot of $5, $10, $15 items, which I have some of those too. But to me, $40, I just give them their money back, even if I know they're just. And I have a list of people that I've had to do that with, and I've yet to have any of them try to buy a second item from me.
On Wednesdays, they'll be over here.
Fab Automotive Detailing. Hello. Yeah, the lives are going to be over here on Wednesdays every week, and give the Sane Enterprises channel some love, and we get a chance to talk about sales and management and making money online and those sort of things. So that just the Wednesday night, there was Sane Sunday Live is going to remain on Sane Auto every Sunday, so that we can live from Sane Auto once a week, and we can live from Sane Enterprises once a week, and we can continue to talk about all kinds of cool car stuff and everything on Sundays, and have cool car trivia on Sundays. And we can do making money, saving money, and improving our living conditions over here every week on Sane Enterprises. And
okay, this is Sane Auto merch. empty. And this is Carol merch.
Well, the Camaro Time brings up a really good point here. And this is something really great to talk about here too. The scammer, he says the scammers have gotten out of hand because priority mail covers up to $500 and the post office just pays it. So they get the goods and the money. Well, me as the seller, I've used that coverage before, and some of these people, they'll send you a picture of an empty box and claim that there wasn't nothing in it. Now, a couple of times I've thought, well, yeah, that might have happened with some of the really heavy output shafts and stuff.
Yeah, but how
And
the
so I
heck
started
did the postman
packaging those
put
a
it
lot
on
better.
his truck and then go to pick it up off of his truck and it not weigh anything?
Yeah, so obviously empty, no weight whatsoever, and then deliver it anyway. So, you know, there's been times where I've questioned that too. And I went ahead and give them their money back anyway, and then turned the pictures over to the post office. And I'm at about a 75% recovery rate, like 3 out of 4 they actually paid me for. And then the other 1 out of 4, they never reimbursed me. And so they do reimburse the seller if, you know, you got to go through this elaborate, they make you jump through several hoops on their USPS website and go through this elaborate labyrinth of, you know.
What time is the muscle car appraisal? 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
We're running
of filling out all this stuff that they want you to fill out, and then uploading the pictures. And then if there's any tiny thing wrong with anything, any excuse at all for them not to pay you, then they do. And then I've had a couple of times that they just refuse to reimburse me. And I had done everything perfectly, and they still refused to reimburse me. And one of them was a $69 item, and so I really didn't like that. Yeah, I need to be better about putting the word out on the Sane Auto and the Sane Enterprises Facebook pages when we go on live on Wednesday nights to get everybody up to speed. And I have been saying something about it on our Sane Sunday Live, but I also need to get better at I need to take another notepad and make an actual notepad list of contact information for everyone on the hashtag Insanefriends live calendar.
Hat hair.
Because I'm still shouting everybody out here on the Sane Enterprises. That's another reason why I wanted to do these lives once a week on Sane Enterprises, is because we do have a little bit different audience over here. Some people watch the Sane Enterprises that don't watch the Sane Auto. Some people watch Sane Auto that don't watch Sane Enterprises. And so if I'm shouting out everybody on the Insanefriends live calendar on both channels once a week, then that could potentially help everybody, all you guys, get more growth on your lives and get more exposure. Oh, well, thank you very much for subscribing to this channel too, Fab. We appreciate that. I'll check and make sure that I'm subscribed to Fab from this channel too. But no, I don't even have to, because I know I have, because I've been on some of your videos with this channel when I'm viewing sometimes, because I'll be doing stuff on this channel and then I'll go to one of your videos and catch up. I like to try to keep up with everybody's videos, and here lately I've been doing a lot more catching up because I've finished loading all that stuff in, all that inventory in the trailer and everything, and moved all the inventory I needed to move with the van and the small trailer, and loaded all the rest of the inventory into the big tractor trailer. We should be coming over here before the end of this week. And
Yay.
that's also the guy I've been talking to about the 53-foot trailer that I'm going to build shelves in and put the $1 million worth of inventory over into that, is said to me yesterday that we'll be able to do that before the end of the week. So hopefully that'll happen before the end of the week. Oh, and the big lathe, that other piece of equipment that I sold so I wouldn't have to move. I talked to that guy.
We might have had to have moved it.
Yeah. Yeah. I talked to him this week, and he's supposed to be coming over to pick that up. Now, I did have to go all the way down to $1,100, but that sold on eBay too. It was eBay that allowed me to sell that so I wouldn't have to move it. And so that was an $1,100 day on eBay with just one item, even though it should have been more. But, you know, he said he was really surprised. One of the things that customer said, he was really surprised at how much lathe he got for that money. He said he was thinking it was a much smaller lathe and didn't really believe me when I told him it was like 4,500 pounds and stuff. But then after he'd done more research on it and everything, he found out that I was telling the truth, and he was really happy about what he was getting. So I think that's one of the limitations to online selling. If you have bigger, more expensive items, is even with lots of pictures and stuff, they really can't tell
how big it is.
Yeah, how big it is and how elaborate it is and what they're getting sometimes. And so, you know, people have a hard time believing people online for good reason too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of sketchy characters on there.
Well, baby sweetie, we're going to have to hand over the reins.
Yeah, it is hard to stay caught up on videos, Fab. And, you know, everybody here is big enough, you know, Camaro Time, ourselves, yourself, you know, you get into the thousands of supporters, and it's really hard to keep up with all the other channels that are supporting you and to return all that support. And so that's one of the reasons why I like doing.
That one won't go on you.
Yeah. I like doing the shout outs and stuff like that. And because it helps, you know, you got to get creative with ways of supporting the other channels in your group in order to be able to keep up, because you can't do it by watching everybody's videos, because you just can't watch everybody's videos. You just can't do it. Even if you're one of the things that I do that helps with that is, while I'm working on inventory and other things, even washing dishes, I'll have a laptop over there and I have somebody's channel playing on autoplay, and I may not be able to watch all of the video, but you know, I can hear it and I can catch glimpses of it and stuff like that. Or if I'm listing inventory and stuff like that. But you got to have two different devices if you're listing inventory on your eBay store. And I know some people are good at listing things on their phone, and I need to get better at that too, because I'd like to be able to just do some listings on my phone without having to. Now what I do is I batch. I take like 5 to 10 items, different items, and so I can make 5 to 10 listings at a time. I take all my photographs and everything with my phone, and then I bring them over to my laptop, hook it into the laptop, download those photos onto the external hard drive, and then I do my listings on the laptop with the external hard drive hooked up. And so, and some of those I have multiples of each. So where I have over 1,300 items listed on eBay, it's 365 listings in order to have all those items on there, because some of those items I have multiples of. I'd like to get to the point where I do a lot more multiples and a lot less listings. But in the short run, I'm going to have to do a lot more of both, a lot more listings and a lot more items, whether they're multiples or one-offs. The stuff I sold today, $200 worth of stuff today, when 3 items, 2 of those items were one-off items. So 2 out of 3, my listing is actually gone because those were one-off items. One was a head to a Mustang, overhead cam Mustang engine. The other one was a intake for a Mopar, an intake manifold for a Mopar. Both of which big items. I was glad to get them out of the inventory because they're taking up a lot of space and they're heavy, so there was a lot of shipping involved. But they were both one-off items, and now they're gone. And most of the transmission stuff, like the third one was a transmission part, I have several of each. So that listing still remains. Now, my challenge is, in order for my listing count to not go down, I've got to list, I would rather be listing 5 to 10 items a day, maybe more, but I've got to at least list twice as many things as I sell so that I can increase, instead of my item count going down and then my average sales going down, increase my sales. And like Camaro Time was good enough to calculate for me at this point, with $45,000 worth of inventory on there. So I sell an average of $200 a day, sometimes less, sometimes more. At that rate, I need to list at least $250,000 of this type of inventory in order to be selling around $10,000 a month, which is my next goal.
Okay, sweetie cutie, we're going to run into muscle car appraisal.
Muscle car appraisals time. So we're going to have to wrap it up. Oh, Camaro Time says it doesn't do the phone because it's too unprotected. Well, I didn't think of that. I'm glad you mentioned that. So yeah, that wouldn't be a good idea then if it's a lot less secure. So I should just stick to doing it the way I'm doing and batch the photos and then bring them in when I need to take a break for either to have my eggs or whatever for lunch.
Time.
And yeah, so I'll just stick to that. You too, Fab, and I wish you all continued insane growth for all our hashtag insane friends. And don't forget, Fab Automotive Detailing does his live at 9 p.m. on Saturday night. The Muscle Car Appraisal will be doing their live right after this, 9 p.m. And if they don't do a live, they usually do a premiere video. And they do a premiere on their video so that you can interact with them in the chat. And then, of course, we have all these lovely hashtag insane friends doing a marathon of lives the rest of the week. And the cooperation is much more profitable than competition.
30.
Scott Pearson, Tools and More. Good to see you here. Scott's got a lot of good tool videos and stuff. I was just watching one of those the other day. Fab's got a bunch of great detailing products and stuff that he shows in his videos. Camaro Time has done a lot of good cleaning detailing products as well. And he has 2 Camaros. Hey, guess what? There's Camaros on the Camaro Time channel.
No.
He also catches the videos of the car shows
have Camaros on his
and the
channel?
show cars and the car scene in North Carolina. Fab's a little further north than that. So all great channels. And if y'all haven't connected with each other, please do. Anybody else that sees this, go connect with Camaro Time, Fab, and Scott Pearson Tools and More. Great channels, and they're great supporters. And if you
Yeah.
support them, they will support you back.
Now, get off the couch and stay clean. See? There you go. Clean. I get off the couch. I don't get dirty. I don't have to. Bye.
So wish you all insane growth. All our insane friends.
Bye-bye.
Remember,
See ya.
invest your time and money in something that either makes money, saves money, or improves your living conditions.
This improves my living conditions a lot.